Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is me. Once again, screaming it into the void of the internet. I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about this. So, Trump. He dang near got assassinated. And I'm gonna say this because I've been saying this for a minute, man. There is a feeling that I have looming that crap's gonna pop off. The current socioeconomic, I'm always saying this in my videos. It's getting more and more chaotic. People try and put it off. They try and push it to the back of their minds. They try not to think about it. But listen, I've been saying this for a while now. And you saw it in 2020. This is why I say 2020 kind of was my favorite year. High key. It's not because of the chaos. It was because you got to see how people act in real time towards crap. And I apologize ahead of time because I guess these idiots are having a block party or something. And, if you hear any of that, then, my bad. But 2020 was the year that truly showed you what people would do if they felt like they could get away with it. And you saw what they did. You saw it on a massive, massive level. And I don't know why it's so hard for people to understand that the core of humanity is pretty effed up. And if you don't really believe me, just look at the comments on that video. Anyone talking about that. And if you don't believe that your media is effed up, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was CNN that said that Trump falls and gets escorted by secret security. The media is literally saying that this guy fell, and they edited the blood that was running from his ear. Listen, if you are still on the freaking fence about getting you a gat, if you're still on the fence about thinking that you're safe, you're sorely mistaken. Take advantage of your rights in America. Get a freaking gat. Arm up. Because crap's gonna kick off. I'm telling you. Everyone is saying that you're crazy. Don't, it's not that serious, bro. This, that, and the other. Yes, the heck it is. I personally feel that if they were successful, we would be rioting right now. Yes, I am going to riot if something like that happened, because it's bad enough that they rigged the you-know-what. And no matter how much people want to say that didn't happen, when you got freaking, let's go ahead and say past tense people somehow having a say in the future of a country, when you've got legal observers being forced out on television, no one can tell me that crap wasn't rigged. And so, if we're trying to have it again this time, and it's air quotes fair, because listen, I don't really trust any voting process. Democracy is doomed to fail because most people refuse to educate themselves. I don't really like saying most people are stupid, because I mainly consider intelligence and stuff like that is usually... Stupidity is usually just lack of knowledge. And lack of knowledge is because you are usually unwilling to pursue it. Via laziness. Via the fact that it's going to change your world perspective and make you uncomfortable about things. And listen, it's not like your whole belief system needs to fly out the window just because, you learn something, But most people don't want to put in the work. And so they'd rather just trust that this higher up bastard that has never really experienced hardship a day in their life is going to have their best interests at heart. So I've never really trusted the whole voting process. Should voting work about things? Definitely. But at the same time, I feel like people who are intelligent and willing to put in, the time and willing to have something to lose should crap, go crazy, are usually the ones whose words should matter more. Because it's like, if you look at, say, the electoral college, why does that exist? Well, quite simple. Because unfortunately, there are more people in certain parts of the states than others. And that would just override how that operates. And you can't assume that people in one state should have the say for the entire future of a country. Because every state is different. Man, it sounds like it's a freaking raccoon or a rat. Maybe I'm about to get jumped by something myself. But, every state's different. Expecting Hawaii to behave like California is stupid. Expecting Georgia to behave like Florida is stupid. Like, every state operates differently. They get their money, economic resources differently, their produce differently. So you can't expect them all the same. So the reason why the Electoral College exists is because, they try, in air quotes, try, and let those smaller guys have a better voice. Even though they don't represent everyone, obviously. Because like I said, I still think it's rigged. But personally, I do wish that maybe it was something a bit more urgent. Now, don't get it twisted. A few centimeters off and his, brains would be external rather than internal. But I think it's hilarious. Not, I guess, hilarious that he got shot, but hilarious that the left always speaks about how they're the more compassionate. They're the people concerned with morality the right way. Because, see, the right always talks about how they're about morality. But the left says that they're more like morality with, like, no compassion and stuff like that. And you look at the left right now, and you just see all these cunts in the comment sections. And I stay away from comments, but I just couldn't help myself. Oh, if only it was so close. Why did he miss? Why did he miss? What an idiot. These are the people. These are the people that you want running a country. These are the people you want running a country, really? If you disagree with someone and you think that you should kill them, I'm just saying, you're a really sorry-arse piece of human. And I get it. Diplomacy's tough. When someone's making your head hurt, verbally, a lot of people want to make their head hurt physically. But you should be better. But of course, I digress. Humanity. I truly realize now that there are only a few of us that can rise above our base instincts. There are only a few of us. Most humans are going to be driven by their base instincts. And though you have the capacity to be more than your instincts, simply because of the fact that you have a reason, you have a reasoning-based thinking system, in my opinion, you still fall to it. You fall to their baser instincts. And that's why, that's why I always say, dude, if something were to happen and just wipe out humanity, I'd laugh. I really wouldn't care. I really wouldn't. There are amazing stories that you would think tell the story of how you shouldn't think of the world as black and white. You shouldn't think of things as just right and wrong all the time. I am by no means a cocksucking anarchist and thinks that there's just everything's relative. There's no right and wrong. You go ahead and take a shotgun and blow some sucker's knees off, and you tell me if he thinks that that's okay. You tell me if he doesn't think that that's wrong. I'm telling you. You and I both know that, that's not true. There is definitely a right and wrong. It may vary to culture. But I feel like there are principles of a lot of cultures, usually cultures that are worth keeping around. Because, I'm not one of these cocksuckers that tells you that, if some culture is doing some debaucherous, evil, vindictive crap, freaking running around hunting nibbas and cannibalizing them, that, oh yeah, let's keep them around. I'll be the first to say, hey, smoke them. Straight up, smoke them. I don't give a rat's arse about your culture. You think if the freaking Aztecs were around right now, and they were just dead set on just continuously freaking sacrificing people, wipe them suckers out. I don't care. F it. I'll learn from the culture, but if you do not intend on changing your ways and you're just going around kidnapping people, smoke them. Wipe them out. Yes. And I'm telling you, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is related. You've got a group of people right now in this country, right, that have the impression, and listen, it's not just America, it's a lot of the West. If you by any means are in England and you're listening to this, listen up, listen well. You've got a group of people in your countries out here thinking that it is morally right for them to end your life because you do not agree with them. Because you don't agree with their lifestyle. Because you don't agree agree with the fact that they want to groom kids, because you don't agree with the fact that apparently someone is supposed to get celebrated because they exist. Apparently, you, by default, if you got a dick and balls, are everything wrong with the world. And they think that because you disagree with that, it is their right to excommunicate you. These are the people that you deal with. And I'm going to tell you straight up, listen, you cannot vote this away. Even if you got everyone who you believe is on your side, because I need to make something clear, and I'll make it clear in a second, who you believe is on your side in office, it wouldn't make a difference, because every time that they have been in office, realistically speaking, what changed? Sure, a few things maybe like economically would change, but did they really change the social aspects of the culture? Did they really make a difference there? No. And I'm going to tell you why, because they're not interested in that, folks. They might toe the line a little bit. They might do just enough to make you think that they're good people and they're doing the right thing. But at the end of the day, where is the money going? Where are the donators? What do the donators represent? And when you see whose hands are in whose pockets, you realize these cunts sold me out. Why should I listen to them? And this is what I'm trying to say. Listen, again, I'm not the biggest fan of Trump. But if it's a choice between Trump and a freaking potato, it's not a freaking contest. It's just not a contest. It's not a contest. Not by any means. When you got a choice between someone saying, I just changed the law so that me as a mother can just castrate my son because I feel like they want to be a girl. Or vice versa. I just changed the laws. Yeah. It's not hard to think about. My thing, again, though, is you're not voting this away. People assume that the vote matters so much that, oh, I'll just vote this away. You can't vote it away. The only way that this goes away is when things get physical. And I know people are going to say, oh, you're just advocating. No, I'm not advocating for crap. Unlike most of these cocksuckers that spend hours on porn or just obsessed with freaking anime and crap like that, you know. And far be it from me to get on you about your hobbies, okay? I love video games. I do enjoy a decent movie every now and again. But I never let that fully distract me from the fact that I live in a real world with real consequences. And the fact of the matter is this, as someone who studies history rather adamantly, crap is getting to the point where it's going to pop off. I say it all the time, hockey mask time. It's going to happen. I said to my friend, I think hockey mask time, on the scale that I think it's going to happen, at least at minimum 10 years. At minimum 10 years. Now, like I said, if they succeeded, and they did actually get this guy, if they did assassinate Trump, if they succeeded, and I want to say, because listen, we don't know, like, there might be another attempt. And I need to speak about that for a minute. There were witnesses saying that they saw this guy armed, climbing a building for a couple of minutes. And they were trying to get the police to take notice, and the police wouldn't. So I'm just saying, like, hey, it begs the question, who was all in on it? Is anyone going to go to jail? Are the cops going to go to jail for the fact that they were ignoring the citizens? Saying, hey, somebody is doing something incredibly suspicious. Oh, that's right. Nothing's going to happen because we live in a freaking clown world with a sorry-arse excuse of a justice system, aren't we? Nothing's going to happen. Those cocksuckers who people said, hey, listen, look out. Look out, this guy's going to do it. Because he didn't just get Trump. He fired several shots and he injured several people. Are those family members who might have to deal with that? Let's say that one guy gets shot right in his freaking spine. I don't know. But I'm using this as an example. Is the state going to be liable for that? Will the government be held accountable for that? No. This is why I am absolutely 100% against the government. I will never understand how any cocksucker, boot-licking bastard can tell me that it is fine that the state has all of the power and you as a citizen have nothing. You as a citizen, if you go out right now, for example, let's say that guy did succeed and you hunted that bastard down and killed him. Oh, well, that was excessive force. You shouldn't have done that. You should have waited on the police. That is what kind of world we live in. This is why I say there is no voting this away. The only way that this goes away is with physical force. And it needs to happen. Listen, I'll tell you right now. There's a lot of volatile brews going on in this cauldron right now. There's a lot of people trying to hustle you into believing things about race, you know, saying that, oh, right, these groups of people need to go because of, you know, what they're doing. And then, unfortunately, because, you know, for example, I'll say it like this. Me as a nibba, a blizzax, a brother, all that bull crap, right? Apparently, I am represented by cocksuckers, you know. I'm sure all of you who are listening to this, if you are a brother or something like that, who got out of the ghetto, can attest, yeah, you're seen as a piece of crap because you got some freaking dumb arse ghetto bastard, ratchet piece of garbage, going around here saying nigga, 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 bitch, 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 ho, 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 slut. All of this stuff. He can't speak. He has like he's an illiterate dastard, and he represents you. The world looks at that because it's the loudest thing. Because listen, if you don't believe in the loud minority complex, just look at the community of blizzaxes. Just look at them. Look at them. That represents a small bit of the community, but everyone believes that everyone who is black is like that. No one who's black thinks intelligently. Surely not, because this is all I see. Look at BET. Look at all the freaking successful rappers and stuff like that. Nigga, 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 bitch, 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 slut, 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 right? They don't speak eloquently at all. They read at like a freaking 5th grade level. It's insane. It's insane. They celebrate crap that destroys a community. Small minorities representing a massive amount of the community do matter. And I'm telling you, the cauldron that's brewing, I would not be surprised if they said, let's kill all of these nibbas. And you know what? Maybe they're right about that. Because if no one's going to stand up, if no one's going to say, they do not represent us, you will not represent us anymore, and we held them accountable, then it'd be different. Right? It would be different. Unfortunately, in this community, they just defend them. And say why we should just feel like it's okay because, you know, this, that, and the other. No. Mm-mm. There's a lot that's going to go on in this cauldron. There are going to be racial reasons. There are going to mainly be political reasons. But I highly believe that it is also going to be a spiritual reason. There is blatant, bloody evil in this country. There is blood on a lot of people's hands, whether they want to believe it or not. There is blood on the hands of people through the baby murdering. Oh yes, it's my right to abort a baby. It's a clump of cells. That is until I get freaking drafted, right? Oh yeah, don't think I forgot about that. When the government said that they were gonna draft women, I'd just get pregnant. Thought it's a clump of cells. You know what they should do if that was the case? They should put their fat arses right on the front lines. At least you'd have some cover to just a clump of cells, right? Right? There is blatant freaking evil in this country. Let's talk about the good old Vahizax, if you catch my drift. Vahizaxination, right? How many people got myocarditis because of that? Oh, opioids, fentanyl. Why is that going around? Our hospitals are surely looking out for our good, right? There is blatant freaking evil in the West. I know that there's evil everywhere. But what makes it worse is the West is educated. You see what I'm saying? We have access to this information. We have access to higher forms of learning. And these cunts willfully choose to stay ignorant. I just don't want to think about it. Well, they're smarter than me. Says who? Them? Says who? Them? Smarter than you in what? In what aspect? A small area about life that you probably don't give a rat's arse in, and maybe it fascinates you to a certain extent. But how practical is it? What the heck does knowing what a black hole sounds like really do for your life? Does that help your rent? Does that feed your kids? Does that help your mental health? People have this dumb arse delusion that because someone is smarter than them in one area, it is fine for them to be trusted with the entirety of the direction that your life can go. No, that's not how that works. People need to get into the aspect of taking some goddamn accountability, taking the reins, and saying, this is my life, and I'm going to go ahead and take charge of it as much as I can, and if I make mistakes, I make mistakes. But they don't want to do that. People do not like accountability. They just want to be freaking led by sheep. Be led like sheep, excuse me. And it F's them over, and they keep looking, and they say, well, why isn't this working? Crap is gonna pop off. And I'm telling you, you better pick your side. You better pick your side right now. You cannot sit on this bullcrap. Either you are on the side of, I'm just gonna be real, relatively good morality, or you are an immoral bastard that is for all of the debauchery in the culture. There is no in between. I'm not going to say that when this crap pops off, that everyone who's going to be, smoking people is going to be in the right. Because what all that's going to happen is a power vacuum is going to form. And you're going to see people struggling to get into that power vacuum for quite a while. They're not going to be right 100% of the time. No one is. Not by a long shot. But I'm going to be real. A lot of people need to go. You can go ahead and take it out of context. Go ahead and say that I'm advocating for it. But it's the truth. It's the truth. When you've got people out here saying that there is no problem with me grooming a kid, that sucker needs to go. When you got cocksuckers out here saying that it is no problem with castrating your children, that sucker needs to go. When your entire culture is being ruled by a small number of people who have colored hair, they don't know what freaking gender they are, they don't know what country they belong to, and they freaking change personalities by like every couple of minutes. And we are supposed to cater to these cunts? Yes. There are quite a few people that need to go. Period. Like I said, in a certain way, I am almost, again, disappointed at the fact that maybe, he didn't get, a chest shot, Nothing lethal. But enough to just go ahead and stir the people. Because listen, I'm telling you, I've said this for years. There is a silent group of people waiting for crap to pop off. Do not assume that because people are just in the background silent, that they aren't freaking ready. I'm not going to say that I'm ready. I don't think you'll ever really be ready for the freaking horror that's going to happen. I don't think you're going to be ready for the bloodbath, even if you are one of these people that is super excited. You're not going to ever really be ready for that crap. You're never going to be ready to witness how barbaric humankind is firsthand. But I'm also not going to say that there aren't cocksuckers that have it coming. I'm not going to say that. But here's the thing. When you get a hold of these bastards, it should be swift and to the point. But people are not going to be like that. They're going to try and make them suffer for as much as they can, and then say, well, I'm righteous. It's righteous. It's just. They should be executed immediately, and that's that. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to... They're going to go the other way. They're going to try and make them last as long as they can. Listen, I know I'm evil. I know I'm effed up. I know I'm a freaking garbage piece of human. But I have to resist it. There's obviously instances where, yeah, that you think in your own head, that cocksucker should suffer. But listen, it'll turn you right into them. And I refuse. I refuse. It's not because I'm holier than thou and not better than anyone else. I just hate what humanity is, and I will actively choose to reject that. I will reject that side of me by using my wisdom, by using my reasoning. It doesn't mean that someone shouldn't freaking get what's coming to them, but do it in a manner where it's swift and to the point. repair the freaking damage that these cocksuckers have done. Don't keep them around any longer than they ought to be here. You know? And I'm telling you, this crap's gonna pop off. So I really hope that these cunts out here that really think that all of these people out here, you know, are just sitting on their thumbs and they're just losers in mama's basement and do. You better understand this crap quick. You better understand it quick. The moment that people feel like all bets are off and they can just go ahead and fight, they're going to fight with a fury that you have never seen before. I'm going to argue that it is going to be on a level of fury that's going to rival some of these wars that you hear about. Want to know why? Because these guys have access to something that those guys didn't have. Firearms. These guys have knowledge. Do not think that people out here are not crafty. Do not think that these people cannot make, you know, a bang boom, if you catch my drift. And now I'm not talking about a firearm. I'm talking about something that goes boom, if you catch my drift. There are some very clever people. So again, people can arm up a lot better than you think. So I'm just looking at all of these people laughing about the situation. And I'm telling you, they're not ready for what's coming. They really think that they could keep pushing people like that and nothing's going to happen. And like I said, it needs to happen. I was looking at something just the other day. And it was a meme. Well, or I don't know if I'd say it. Maybe a political cartoon would be the proper term. And it was of Europe. And it showed this image, and I'm not going to put it on here, but it showed this image of this little girl being snuggled by multiple Muslims, you know, illegals going into that country. And the dad is saying, hey, that's my daughter, and the police are trying to arrest him, saying, stop it, you bigot. And that's happening. That's happening in Europe on a massive scale. And that's happening here. You've got illegals molesting little freaking kids. You've got freaking teachers molesting little kids. Our entire country, okay, is morally circling a freaking toilet bowl. It's been doing it for years. It's just a turd that doesn't want to go down. It's sticking to the toilet bowl, and it's not trying to flush. It's gonna flush. Trust that. You cannot do this to people and think crap is going to go well for you. It's not. People do have a limit. I'm not saying that they'll win, but I'm saying that it ain't gonna be pretty. And you better believe that, yes, I will find myself there. I know what side I'm fighting on. Plain and simple. I know what side I'm gonna fight on. I hope you know what side you're gonna fight on too. If you're one of these people thinking you're just not going to have to fight, you're sorely mistaken. You're going to have to let people know where you stand. Stand on that side and fight. If you're a debaucherous piece of garbage that thinks that there needs to be trillions of freaking genders, that thinks that freaking molesters and pedophiles should have the right to children, you should know where you stand. Go ahead and fight for your debauchery. And if you're someone, again, because I'm not going to say you're righteous. I'm not. I do not believe that there is a single side that is 100% righteous. No group is a saint. All groups inherit corruption of some kind. But I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're at least a group that's got some kind of sense of morality, that wants to freaking protect children, that wants people to be able to live their life, I'm at least siding with that. I'm not going to side with them for everything, but I'll side with them for that. I know which side I'm fighting on. I hope you know which side you're fighting on. That's all I can say. I'm going to go ahead and try and leave it here, folks. You better get ready. Because what is this? This is only, what, July? We still got a few months. Don't think that this is over. Don't think you won't see another attempt. And your good old delicious President Vegetable said that he refuses to acknowledge that this was an assassination attempt. Your media will not cover this as an assassination attempt. Think we don't have problems if you're stupid. Go ahead and think that. See ya. God bless. Stay safe. And again, arm up.